Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
When she didn't show up for her fourth grade class last week, her friends knew something was terribly wrong.
I'm devastated for the kids that won't get a chance to have her.
Tonight, students are remembering a beloved teacher downriver who died unexpectedly.
This is Night Cam reporter Tim Pampton. We're at Dooley's Bar in Roseville. Concerns of a super spreader party has brought the authorities out. We'll have a full report coming up.
We begin with a stunning reversal. The Wayne County Board of Canvassers voting to certify this month's election results after a long and contentious meeting. The board was initially deadlocked along party lines, with the two Republican members refusing to certify the November election.
Then, after nearly 3 hours of heated public comment, the board re-voted unanimously to certify, but wants further action from the state. Mara McDonald is live at the board office. Mara, a key issue here was Detroit absentee votes.
Well, that was according to those two GOP members of the Board of Canvassers, Kimberly. The original reason they gave for not certifying these election results was this issue. They said that 70% of Detroit's absentee voter counting boards did not balance. They were not going to certify. But then, late tonight, a compromise. Problems with the absentee count is not new in Detroit. In the August primary, over 70% of the absentee precincts did not match, all of which means they could not be recounted. Now, the Board of Canvassers certified those August election results, but the two GOP members refused to do so tonight for several hours, but did earlier offer up this.
I would be open to a motion to certify communities other than the city of Detroit.
That move outraged the Democrats on the board and speaker after speaker on the board's public Zoom meeting.
You have extracted a black city out of a county and said the only ones that are at fault at an issue is the city of Detroit, where 80% of the people who reside here are African Americans.
That millions of people around the world now on Twitter know the name Monica Palmer and William Hartman as two people completely racist and without an understanding of what integrity means or a shred of human decency.
After hours of comments like that, the board reached a compromise. It would unanimously move to certify the vote, but it also asks the Michigan Secretary of State to conduct an audit, not just of Detroit's numbers that aren't matching up, but elsewhere in the county as well, like Livonia.
I am absolutely satisfied with the outcome, with the certification of the votes, as well as I'm very, very proud of my colleagues on the Wayne County Board of Canvassers. We found a way in order to address the concerns that have been lingering for so long.
Mr. Herman, why did you decide to change your vote?
Because of the provision of including the Secretary of State and the independent audit.
Some of those comments in there were very inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
Did it make you think twice about your original vote?
No.
Back here live. So the Wayne County Board of Canvassers reverses itself. It is now certifying the election, and those results go to the State Board of Canvassers. That body meets tomorrow. We're live on Detroit's East Side tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
And we'll be following it. Okay, Mara, thanks.
We are following some breaking news from Detroit's West Side. Take a good look at these two little faces. Police have found these children wandering alone. They were found around 8 p.m. near Alexandrine and the Lodge Service Drive. Police believe their names might be Ziara and Bryson Rose. They are ages 2 and 3. They have been taken to the 3rd Precinct while police search for their parents or guardians. If you have any information at all, call Detroit Police. Also new tonight, more money will go to the people impacted by the Flint water crisis as more defendants join the state. The city of Flint, McLaren Regional Medical Center, and Rowe Professional Services Company are joining the state as defendants, raising the total settlement amount from $600 million to $641 million. The agreement must now be approved by a judge before residents can start submitting claims.
We are now less than 1 hour away from the state's new restrictions going into effect.
At midnight, indoor dining services, movie theaters, and casinos must close for the next 3 weeks. It comes as the state reports 7,458 new cases of coronavirus in the last 24 hours, with 79 new deaths.
When the new restrictions were announced over the weekend, Dooley's in Roseville announced they were hosting one final party ahead of the shutdown. Our Tim Pamplin is there with a night cam on how the city is trying to keep everything safe.
The party is in full effect at Dooley's in Roseville this evening. Lots of revelers inside and a handful of law enforcement. Yes, the Roseville police have stopped by this evening, as have members of the fire department to check things out. The fire marshal paying close attention to the tent outside, telling them they had to do a couple of things to come in compliance, including chaining down the propane tanks, putting up exit signs around the building. The owner tells me the fears of this turning into a super spreader party are unfounded.
We've really invested a lot internally since reopening to ward off the virus, and we have not had any problems. We've had 2 employees out of 40 get the virus, and I don't know of any customers, okay?
Roseville police have been doing the rounds all evening. The owner says he's working with the authorities.
I just want to make sure I meet all the guidelines.
So as more party people make their way into Dooley's this evening, in about an hour at midnight, service inside the pub has to stop. But get this, under the regulation, service inside a tent may continue. As for this turning into a super spreader party, time will tell. That is the scene in Roseville tonight with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
For most students, their teachers are a lifeline, and perhaps this year more than ever, as students cope with virtual learning. Becky Worth was one of those teachers who in the past few months helped her students fundraise for frontline heroes. When she died unexpectedly, that community has come together to honor her legacy. Priya Mann is in Taylor with tonight's emotional gathering.
There were a lot of tears here at the Kenyon Elementary Butterfly Garden as a community came to honor a beloved teacher. And her friends say they feel especially sad for the students who never got to meet Worth in person because of the pandemic.
We had to tell the kids last week, we had to tell them virtually with their parents, and that was one of the hardest days of my life besides losing her. I told those kids, and it wasn't just to comfort them, it was honest truth that she loved them, she adored them.
Becky Worth was more than just a beloved 4th grade teacher at Kenyon Elementary. This was her family.
The wonderful things that she did for your children and our family, and how you can continue that legacy.
Worth died unexpectedly last Monday. When she didn't show up for work Tuesday, concerned friends called her family. They discovered the 47-year-old inside her home. A week later, this grieving Taylor community came together to honor her memory.
She was so happy here, and she loved all of you. And I'm just so happy that everyone came out tonight to honor her.
Her 4th graders say they'll miss her British accent and her sense of humor.
Miss Worth was my favorite teacher. Yeah, I miss her and I love her. She was kind, loving.
Worth was an educator for nearly a quarter-century, leaving a lasting impression in every classroom she entered.
It's such a tremendous loss. There's definitely a void in my heart right now for my friend, for my colleague, for these kids, for our family here at Kenyon. They always say that maybe God needed her more than we did, but we still needed her.
In Taylor, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Friends say police do not suspect foul play. They are awaiting autopsy results.
Detroit police asking for your help finding a suspect in a shooting that left a young girl dead. Police are looking for 22-year-old Christian Mitchell Childress. He's wanted in connection to a shooting that killed a 7-year-old little girl. It happened last month at a home on Bedford near Outer Drive in Mack. Police say another suspect was arrested yesterday. If you know anything, call police.
A shakeup in Washington tonight. President Trump fires the nation's top cybersecurity official. Trump announced the firing of Chris Krebs via Twitter. Krebs was a Trump appointee. He led the federal government's election cybersecurity effort and recently rejected the president's claims of widespread voter fraud. The president's tweet called Krebs' comments on the election highly inaccurate and that his termination is effective immediately. Dashcam video shows the moment a state trooper rescues a man from a burning car.
It happened this morning on Ann Arbor Road over I-275 in Plymouth. Watch as a trooper runs up to an SUV and pulls the man away from the burning vehicle. The SUV collided with a semi after both lost control on the icy road. State police tell us the man is recovering in the hospital. His 5-year-old grandson was in the car with him. He suffered only minor injuries. Still ahead, the man at the center of a $35 million Ponzi scheme attempts an elaborate getaway from the FBI.
We'll see how he used this device to try to evade federal authorities. Here's Ben.
Steve and Kim, we've got temperatures heading into the 20s and even teens in spots tonight, but we're headed to 60 before the weekend. We'll look at a big rebound in temperatures coming up.
Ford's future for Corktown. Coming up after the break, why what it does to the old train station might not be what people find the most fascinating.